So welcome to the June meeting of the Brew Robotics Club. My name is Osmond Ralph. I'm the treasurer and secretary of the club. So tonight's meeting, first of all, how many people are here at a club meeting for the first time? If you can raise your hand. Wow, that's amazing. So thanks for coming, first of all. This meeting is not typical of the meetings that we usually have. This is our once a year potluck. So you came to the right meeting, got some free food, and you'll get to see some robots. What more could you want? Normally when we have meetings, it's a 2-hour meeting, and we have a speaker at the beginning. We have a show and tell portion of the meeting at the beginning. Maybe we have a speaker come in and talk about various topics, hardware, software, robot related. Do we have a...
Yes.
Somebody want to make an announcement?
Competing with you.
Okay. But tonight's meeting is a little bit different. We got started earlier with potluck, and tonight it's all about robots. So no speaker, but we have a lot of robots that people have brought, and they're going to be showing. And tonight is also the first night of our challenge sequence. One of the issues that people have when they start learning about robotics is, what do I build? How do I get started? Well, the best way to learn something is to have an end goal in mind. Whatever you're going to learn, whether it's programming, learning electronics, it's good to have a project in mind with a deadline. That's helps to motivate. At least it helps me a lot. So we have our challenge. That's every June of every year is the first stage of the challenge. And Cam's going to talk a lot more about the challenge. He's going to be running the challenge. This is something that everybody can participate in. And you don't have a completed robot. You don't need a completed robot. In fact, we love to see robots that aren't complete. It kind of makes us feel better about our own robots. So, if you're working on something, bring it, show it. We'd love to see it. You can get some feedback. So that's the goal of tonight. We're going to be doing the challenge, and there's a few different challenges. Ralph's setting up a maze in the back. Most of the robots are going to be running on this table here for the tabletop challenge. And then I think there's some other robots around that are unrelated to the challenges, but we always like people to bring their robots and projects. We have a robot that's dispensing M&Ms over here, so I'm sure you'll hear about that one too. So I don't have a lot of club-related news to discuss this month.
Bob Smith.
Bob's not here.
He's on his way.
Didn't he have a big thing to talk about?
Yeah, well, he's not here, so I'm going to mention what Bob was going to talk about. So in addition to our monthly general meeting, which is always the last Wednesday of the month, we also have a meeting that's right the week before the last, the penultimate Wednesday of the month, where it's kind of a more informal gathering, and it's been at the Hacker Dojo. And it's, over the years, it's morphed over various topics. Currently, the topic is all about ROS, which is the Robot Operating System. The guy who was running that meeting has left town. So we are we're looking at potentially augmenting that meeting, maybe with a more hardware-related meeting. So possibly having 2 of these, we call them special interest group meetings. A few years ago, it used to be all hardware. We used to meet at the tech shop. People bring their robots, you work on them. It'd kind of be a nice informal gathering. You could prepare them for the next week's meeting, so you could show them to everybody. We've kind of got away from that. So Bob's proposal is to add another meeting, so it would be another Wednesday of the month. So we would be kind of meeting 3 Wednesdays of the month, or you could potentially meet 3 Wednesdays of the month. And make that a hardware-related, kind of more building, possibly with some tutorials, maybe classes for basic topics. If you're interested in getting into robotics, things like it could be Raspberry Pi, it could be working with sensors. So we wanted to kind of figure out if there was any interest. Okay, so first question: how many people here go to the current SIG, which is the Wednesday before this meeting. Does anybody here go? Okay. How many people would be interested in an additional meeting to this, which is, say, hardware related, where you can go and ask questions, work with other builders? Okay, actually, that's looks promising. So I think what we'll do, instead of having a large discussion here about what kind of topics we want to do and that kind of thing, we'll make a proposal on the mailing list. So for those of you who are new, we do have a mailing list. If you go to HB Robotics, our website is hbrobotics.org, but I've forgotten what our Google group is. So the Google group, I think if you also look up HB Robotics or Homebrew Robotics under Google groups, you'll find us.
There's a link in the upper left of the website.
Okay, so on our homepage, that's Mark, our webmaster. So hbrobotics.org, go there. You can find links to all the relevant information, including our Google group, according to Mark. And there we'll talk about how we want to organize this potential extra meeting a month that we might start doing. Okay, so that's all the club news that I had for this month. Did anybody else have anything to add? General information, robot related, IEEE report. We used to do that, but we don't do that anymore. Yeah, Seal?
Well, it's a little early, but we do have our WRF Western Regional Robotics Forum is having Cal Games again this year, our 12th time, I think. Anyway, it'll be at Evergreen High School, a new place, and we, of course, are always looking for judges, refs, volunteers. It's a high school competition, First Robotics. They bring their big robots. It's local schools. We're going through that. Got announced kind of late. It's the second weekend in October, and it will be Saturday night and all day Sunday.
And there's $40 million in scholarships available to these kids.
Wow.
Through FIRST. Yeah.
Through FIRST.
So the WRF, that's considered an off-season event. Is that an accurate description? Yeah. So it's perhaps a little bit more informal, would you say, than the typical competition? Somewhat, yeah, but it still uses the same rules, same game environment.
And in fact, we're using a first field. The last couple of years, we actually used the first field, First California one.
Great. So if you guys have never seen a FIRST competition, you should go. It's really inspiring to see all these high school kids get so pumped up about robots. And if you are a kid, try and get involved with FIRST organization in your schools. It's a great way to learn about robots, especially as you go out into the field looking for a job. If anybody's got has worked in FIRST, those are the kinds of people that we're looking for. So it's a great organization, and I've been to Seal's event that she organizes too, and it's really good. Okay, any other robot-related news? Okay. Did you want to talk about this now, or?
Why don't we bring up the challenges?
Okay. So that's all I have to say for tonight. I'm going to turn it over to Camp, who's going to discuss the challenges and what's going to happen the rest of the evening.